Hey everyone, and welcome to another night of Gadget Talk. Chad, I am exhausted. I've been burning the candle at both ends and in the middle and in between those middles. So, but glad to be here. It's been a crazy, crazy day for me, and I know you've been really super busy as well. Just going through the chat real quick to see who we got. We got GCD SK11, Tom Brotherman, Electric Water Boy, Tricashis is in the house. Martin is here. Let's see here, and we got Dave and Bell on the move. So Dave Wagner and Andrew are also joining us tonight, and I'm sure a lot more others going to be coming in here just shortly. But Chad, so how's your slow life been going lately?
Oh, busy. I honestly have had only a few hours to work on the cache for this week, so we're gonna drag this out as much as we can, or maybe talk about other things as well. So
and I know life happens sometimes, and that's what when we're doing all this all the time. Life happens, and sometimes we don't get as far as we want to on our builds, and so don't feel bad if that happens to you. It happens to us all the time. So, but yeah, but all right, I'm trying to read through that.
Sorry that I did that. It was my fault.
No, that's okay. I'm just kind of, and I just went completely out of focus. Here we go. I was trying to read the chat at the same time. But before we get too much further into this, and let's go ahead and take care of our sponsors. If you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. To sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today.
Logbook, the creators of the fantastic Logbook, made with genuine Write-in-the-Rain paper. The Logbook's designed for the micro-containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who'd rather go caching than doing cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and a hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special path tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today. All right. And to answer your question, Chad, yes, it's right here. Is it sounding really crunchy?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Well, let me move it out just a little bit, and I'll get it on here in just a minute. So, I was just kind of looking through the chat real quick. I was noticing, thanks, Pizza Ninja. Yes, today is my birthday, so that's part of the reason why today's been kind of crazy. And then Tom is saying, life pays the bills, so we can afford to do this stuff. It does. So,
yes.
I mean, yeah, we
Ninja, happy birthday, Derek. He brought that up before I did. I wanted to mention that too. So, anyways, happy birthday. Here you got a lot of paints, a lot of fun, a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to a Gadget Talk when you or behind the cache when you're going to use them.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I want to get a lot better with my finished work and with the painting and stuff like that. That's really my goal this year, is to really be able to up that game. The Star Trek one that I did, that one already, that upped. I think that one just looks really cool.
That one's cool.
Bell's here. I'm just here for the birthday party. What party's that? Where's that happening? So, but yeah, so thanks GC DSK11. Thank you very much. Mini Mag's out running around grabbing a bunch of caches while he's listening to the show. Make sure you're listening and not watching it as you're driving, please. We don't want you having an accident out there doing that. So, but it's been kind of a crazy. I tried to go. I went to the golf course today. Not the golf course. It was definitely the golf course. I mean, I felt rushed. It was just I know they say any day out on the golf course is a good day. No, not today.
No.
It was, I enjoyed being out there with my dad and Curtis, but that was about the best. That was the best part of it. So, it's just, but yeah. So, all right, Chad, let's talk about what
Okay.
we're going to be doing.
So I'm going to be taking a nap, and you're going to be showing how to do this. So, no, but
See, I
anyway,
just went
just joking.
completely out of focus again. No, that's not happening.
Oh, no worries. So I think we're just going to talk about just the cache container. So my plan was to actually make the latch work or have a door or something on it. And this is about as far as I got. It's one of those things I actually almost took the build and was like, you know what? I want to do something different. But I thought I better stick with it. So this is what we have so far for the build. And so, and we'll go over it as well. But the cache container is here, so you can turn it on. I hooked up the lights. I did not get anything. I hooked up the sequence, but nothing to a switch or lights or anything. So that's about as far as I got. And I think I started that at like 5 o'clock. So
and you're 2 hours behind me, and it's 8. So that would be, yeah.
So this is the cache container. So you're going to pull it out. I 3D printed the sleeve for it to fit into. And then I started making a door for it. So like what we talked about before, the cache container to use. I really like this. I've been trying to think of what to use this for. I'm kind of debating on the 2 different containers. So on the top, you have a container you can use for swag or a logbook. And I think I have this. I think I put this on the other way. And then that would be swag on that top, and the bottom here would be a logbook because it's shallower.
Right.
Still need to paint it and everything, but
I'm sure it'll get switched up by some of the cachers.
Huh?
I'm sure it'll get switched.
Well, my thought is to only have one end and glue this one together. Because when he's twisted out of the container, it can actually come apart. So I haven't decided yet, but I think I'm just going to glue this and have just the bottom open on it. So you have to pull it all the way out. Okay. But it fits in nice and snug and goes down. It's kind of cool.
I really like that. I think that looks really
normally
cool.
Goes in all the way. I got it maybe a little tight, but anyways, yeah. So anyways, I thought it was kind of fun.
Do that again. I love that. Just is just that's so satisfying as it just kind of walks down and gets tucked in. Yeah. That is really
I thought the sound is kind of cool. But anyway,
that sound effect later.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the cache. So a couple ideas I had for how to make it open, or how to secure this. So they had to get the code or have a latch flip is of course I love acrylic. So my original thought was to cut a piece of acrylic, put an acrylic hinge on here, right? Put a piece of acrylic on here. And of course I had to screw it in somehow and I didn't make the holes in the print. So I'm gonna have to redo it and then end up hiding these, making some plugs or figuring out a different way to mount it, maybe screw it from underneath. But anyway, a hinge with a piece of acrylic on here that would go down, and I could either run it a little bit long and have a latch, and then I'd have to actually take the acrylic or reprint this to be a little bit longer to hide the latch itself. So then it would pop open and you'd end up opening the acrylic to get to it. Or my other thought, keep it clean. I like how things are clean. So my other thought is on here, on the log itself or on the container, you have this flat spot here on the container. So what if I drilled a hole or made a hole in the side of the container and use one of these, where we at here, latches?
Yep. Yeah.
And this latch would actually stop it here. So it would push in, you'd be able to pull it out. And then when it went down, you wouldn't have to push anything because it would automatically just slide through it and then latch.
Would you have to put two of them on there? Would one?
I think it's tight enough. I don't see how you would need two. I think one would be tight enough. It would be enough because it's tight. So that was my thought, is I kind of like the idea because then it keeps the top of it really clean. But I haven't decided yet on which way to go. I might have to make both ways.
I don't know. Just dropping like that is just, oh my gosh, it's so cool. And just to kind of mention to that on there, Tricasha says that is a nice fit. Cool. That is really good from Gene.
Oh, thanks, Gene.
So that was really that there. I mean, and here's a comment that I was kind of thinking the same thing, and Tom kind of brought it up as well. If you don't tell them to open both ends, someone's going to tell you there wasn't a log in it. So, like I said, you may have a login on that other side. Somebody there, it's going to have to end up somehow. So
right. So when I paint it, so the problem is if I don't have the both ends done, if you just turn the top, you can pull it off. So I think I'm going to glue it and just have the one end on it. I originally was thinking the two ends, and then I was going to take some of the Star Wars Eglabesh, I can't even say it right, writing, and put Logbook and then Swag on here. Arabish, yeah, there you go. Thank you. So I was going to put on this end Logbook and this end Swag or whatever it was going to end up being. But I think I'm just going to glue this in and just have one container for everything.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the best
way. Just put it maybe in a baggie or something. Yeah. So,
let's there. Oh, wow. Let's throw it out to the audience. Let's see what they think. Do you think it should have just the acrylic and you see down into it and then you pull it out and let it drop, or using the latch and then you drop it and it keeps it just completely clean like that? So put it in the chat. What do you think? Let's take a vote on this. See which way y'all think this should go. Chad's back in their back looks like he's getting some acrylic to be able to try this out. So I'm really curious.
Go ahead, Derek. I'm sorry.
Sorry. No, I was trying to read. I was reading a quote, a message here. So Martin was asked, I might have missed it, but what are you going to put on the buttons? And that it's going to be Mandalorian. Is that what you talked about?
No, I don't think I'm gonna put anything on there, and it's going to be using Arduino, and you're going to just do it in a certain sequence. So you hit a button, and it'll buzz,
and then it'll latch. Okay, unlatch.
And you'll know if it works. And once you get all 9, then it'll automatically latch. I did these so if you wanted to, but I kind of like the look of this. So what I'll probably end up doing is using it with an Arduino, like I did with if you look at the Signal and Carbonite or any of the Carbonite ones where they flash different random,
right?
Not digits, but lines. I might do that. So then it's actually, when you turn it on, it'll actually just start flashing the different lines and kind of look cool, just for a special effect type of thing.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. So,
so this isn't the right size, but what I started to make on it was actually going to have, I should have just cut it. It's funny. I have it. I could do it real quick, actually. This will glue on here like this, and this would be a little bit longer, but I actually made it so the circle here would be separate, and then I could paint the outer edges of it. So you'd still be clear in the middle, but the outside would be kind of hidden. So you don't see anything. It'd be just kind of a different effect. I kind of like it, but that's pretty much what it would look like with the acrylic on it. And then it would pop open or whatever. So you still have the look. You'll still see the container.
All right. So the audience is speaking, and Dave is saying it looks really clean without the acrylic. GC DSK11 saying no latch, people will destroy it. Looks great the way it is. And then Gene is saying, I agree, no acrylic. So I think it's kind of going with the one latch. When they actually do it, it'll actually release, and then they can pull it out.
Yeah, I really like this latch, and that's the way I think I want to go. I might go with the bigger one. This is a 5-volt. I'll probably go with the 12-volt, which is a little bit bigger. I don't have any extra ones down here. But I think I'll go with that one. Because I like how clean it is. It's to me really clean, nice looking. And even if you pull on that, it's such a tight fit in there. You're never going to get it out unless you break it. And this isn't going out. This might be for an event or something. So
right. So you're going to be right there.
I'll be watching it. And yeah, I don't think anybody's going to do that.
Yeah, that'd be a really cool like doing a special events, sci-fi event or something like that, so a themed event, and that's where the actual signing of the logbook is for the actual event itself.
Yeah. And so, oh, go ahead.
So Dave is asking spring to push it up on release. I don't think it would drop down as clean if it did, would it?
You'd have to push it in, which you may have to anyways. I mean, because it's going to have to push in on the latch. I don't think anything, no matter what you put in there, unless you have the door on it, is going to go in without having to push down on it.
Right.
So, and then the other question is, so if I have the latch, you only have 4 sections here. You only have 4 sections on here, right, that are flat,
right?
That you have to line it up with. So I don't know if I do a line on here or an arrow, and then an arrow also on the holder itself, so they know which side to put it in on. I am not sure on that. The other thing is you could do a slit in one of these and also have it on the.
That's what I was thinking.
The container there, so then it can only go in and out one way, but then that doesn't make it go down as nice. Won't go down as easy. But I don't know. It's going to be an experiment, and we'll have to see how it goes.
Right. And that's true. I was kind of thinking of a slit in there as well. Now, without having the slit in there, I mean, doing that reset, it would be great. Tricacheist Chad is asking, what about basically having a green light on when it's released, or something that says.
So I wanted to put an LED somewhere. Whoops! I'm thinking about redesigning this. I actually thinking about making it circle instead of square, and also, so I have a 45 in here, a bevel on this. I might actually have it come out a 1/2 inch and then bevel back out and have it circle. So, but my hole underneath here is square, and so that's why it's square right now. But I forget what his question was now.
Here, go ahead and pull that back out, Chad. Pull that back out and show the end of it to the camera again, the other end. So here's this,
the one I dropped on the ground
where it latches into it.
Oh, right here.
Yeah. So here's a comment from GC SDK11. Why not, when you reprint it, cut that little lip off of it and keep it flat all the way around? Then it wouldn't matter which side they put in.
Oh, now he's just thinking right. Man, that's a great idea. Okay, well, we'll have to go with that. Someone who's way smarter than me has to come up with that idea. So, great idea. That's the way to go.
Yeah, what happens? We overthink it sometimes. That's just this easy solution. And thanks for that.
Yeah.
See, our Canadian friends are good for that.
Yeah.
Us Americans are overthinking it. So I see OzFox is on here as well. I'm running a little late, but that's okay. Hey, I didn't jump on until 8 minutes before we came on tonight.
Yeah.
So
I was like, I'm by myself tonight.
So let's hear. Bell on the Move says, in my experiences, those latches don't work with any tension on them. Can't spring load. Okay, so that's I haven't had that issue, but you're more than likely right. I haven't done those latches too many times. I've done them a couple times, and has never been a really load on there. So that's good to know. Have you tried that latch with the load on there?
I have, and if there's any kind of pressure on it, it typically doesn't want to retract.
Okay, so the spring nest wouldn't probably work then.
Mm-hmm. I don't. So, I think it'd be a cool effect, especially when it unlatches, right?
It would be.
But yes, my idea, Tricacheist. Now I remember what he got into. Yes, I actually was thinking 4 green LEDs and 4 red ones. So it just light up in all 4 corners, green or red, when it's ready. And I also thought about making this green and red, these 2,
right?
That could turn. But I think if it was around the container, it would be kind of cool.
I think they'd be more likely to see it around the container than over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and I think that just would be a cool effect. So, that's the way I'll probably end up going on that. And if I made this circle, if I made the outside trim of it round, it'd be a lot cleaner. And then the other one with the 9 buttons around it And if you centered that, it would look really cool.
That would look cool.
But I really like the idea of panels. Now, Martin mentioned, or someone mentioned, I think it was Martin, about how to label the buttons. I was kind of messing around earlier, and I made something that you could do with different panels. So this has, so you could actually label underneath them if you don't end up using the buttons here that actually you could put the label in. So I think that would be a cool way to label them as well if you need to. And make just obviously several different panels or something.
Right.
So, that was one thing. I'll probably end up changing this panel. I'm not sure. It's one of those things when you're making something and then you start thinking about it.
Well,
you're like,
here's the thing.
Completely different.
It's really cool because if you're going to say you take that to a mega and they have multiple events, if you have multiple panels, then you go to a different event. You may have the same container, but it's a different puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually interchange it if you wanted to do that. As long as you're not like traveling like huge distances. I mean, that's the thing, but you could change it out pretty quick. So you could have several different panels and hey, I'm using the same outside aspect and you just put a different insert in.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what I was thinking, because I saw a post on the Gadget Builders thing of the square escape room box. I actually considered building a box and making this a 4-stage box that would actually be on a Lazy Susan. You could spin it for each stage and then have the container pop out the top or something.
Right.
I considered doing that, but I don't have enough time to finish to work on what I already have going. So I didn't, but that might be a future project coming up because then you could use all the different panels and different methods of making things. Or of this whole thing. So now the other thing I thought was kind of cool is Arabic is hard to read. Obviously, if you don't have the translation deal. Did I say that right? Arabic?
Yep, I think you did. Yeah, okay. Galactic Basic is the other word for it. Yeah, but yeah.
I printed that to put in there. But I also decided that I'm going to go with an Arabic English. And so I made some labels so you could actually read it. Cool. But they look like here's one that says Gadget Talk and or power. So if you need to have power. So these are kind of big, just kind of making them as samples. But I could end up putting them. Huh?
I need that font.
Need that font. It's actually it took a long time to find that. The Arabic is so easy to find and get. This one was really hard to find, but I finally did it. So I could put on here what I could label, or you could label the these things you can put underneath. But I also was thinking I think I just need to paint it right on the edge of the handle here. I think Logbook. I'm not sure. So I had different things put on here. I was thinking that you could do your name if you wanted to. So there's a Gadget Talk one. Oh, I guess you can't see that. But you could do a Gadget Talk at the top or bottom, and then like I did a bounce. There's just all kinds that you could do. So I like the Arabic to English because it it's kind of that language, but then you can read it without having to, unless you're trying to do the puzzle. That would be a nice way to go with it. So
right. Now I'm looking at your puzzle. Above the buttons, you got 4 other little square insets. What's going into those?
Lights that will flash at different rates. Okay. So one will fade, one will flash, a couple will stay on. These here, one will flash, one will stay consistent. And then, like I said, I think I'll just make those randomly, like the signal and carbonite work. So they're just for looks to kind of make it look cool. And then also all around this is so plain. So I might end up doing some vents, doing some kind of, how the Star Wars lighting looks, the different types of ovals. I guess, I don't know if it's an oval, but doing something like that. I even thought about doing it recessed and putting a light underneath. So it actually with a frosted acrylic. So it shines through like it's lit up.
Cool. Yeah.
I don't know. There's lots of ideas. Just haven't had a chance to really address it. But I like the panels and everything, but it's just too plain in this area here. So still trying to figure it out. And then of course I need to go back.
It looks good clean too, but nothing like that is clean in Star Wars, as we know.
No.
Andrew Bell on the Move is asking, how is the white lettering applied?
Very
I know
carefully.
you're very carefully.
Very carefully. So it is applied. Give me a second. Let me come over here and grab something. Well, actually, I think I have a piece of something in here. So I kind of cheated. So
There's no
you
such
can buy
thing.
this white wood and black MDF at Home Depot. Like a 2x4 piece of this for like $5. So it's already painted on one side black and one side white. So all I did was I laser cut and I etched. I didn't etch. I mean, I scored around the letters, peeled off the pre-mask, which is what you put on so you don't get the burn marks.
Right.
I don't know if you guys can see it here. So on top, before you laser cut, you pre-mask it. I could pop something on and do it real quick. So the pre-mask comes off. So just same thing you use when you're doing vinyl. So you only peel the pre-mask off where you want to paint, and the rest will stay white underneath. And then you paint it, and then you pull the pre-mask off when you're done painting, and you have the letters. So it's clean, and it actually kind of gives it that raised. Can you see there?
Yeah.
Around the letters, how it's you can kind of see where it's not etched but scored.
Right.
So it kind of gives it that crisper look.
Yeah, it gives it kind of that stroke look, like if you're doing like video graphics or something like that. Martin's asking, you could have one of the lights flash in Morse code as a bonus.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So if it was flashing Morse code, maybe it would flash out a trackable code or something like that.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, I like that idea. So normally I would go to the vinyl cutter and cut that in vinyl, right? And stick it on. But I figured if I'm just cutting it, I might as well do it this way. And because what do I do with that wood? This wood has a finish on it already. It doesn't absorb the paint. And so, I mean, literally this is like 2 coats of paint, light coats of paint, and it takes to it really easy. It doesn't absorb or anything. Now, if you're putting out in the field, I'd probably do it on acrylic, just because I don't know how this stuff would work in the weather.
Right. Yeah.
So
I agree. So I think kind of consensus what I'm looking at as don't do the acrylic on the top. Go ahead and try and do the latch so when it drops down in, I think that would look really good. And then cleaning up that edge so it's not just that one. You have 1 in 4, just 4 spots where it could go in, but it would be completely flat. So no matter how they drop it in, it would go past that latch.
Yeah. So I'll show what I did here when I made this. Real quick. So all this is go back to the regular camera. All this is I end up putting a hole to let the air out because it's so tight.
Right.
It won't drop, but I might make it a little bit bigger so it'll actually go in a little bit easier. But it's 3 pieces. I cut the top, or I printed the top separate. I still need to sand it and paint it. I'm not going to paint the inside or the inside of the bowl, but and then you can see I did this one here. I think these are just over 6 inches or 6 inches each. So this is one piece, the bottom and the bottom part with a bottom. And then you just have a tube for the middle. And then you have the top for it. So it's actually really simple to make. And then just glued it together. And that's it. Really, really simple.
Right. And Chad Tricastus is asking, what do you use for your glue? Which one are you using on this one?
On this, I use the Weld-On 3.
Okay.
Works excellent. I originally used a
I've used Weld On 4. I think that was what I have.
Yeah, so that's just on thickness and how quick.
Yeah.
So this here, the glue, super glue, forget the exact name for it. But anyways, it worked, but it took a long time to set, and then I actually took the container and dropped it in from about 6 inches up, and the top popped off. So it didn't glue the best. In fact, you can see right there when it popped off.
Burned. Yeah.
So I went on with the weld on, and it was set so fast, and I've tried it a few more times, and it is strong. So I've used weld on PLA before, and it works great. So
yeah, that's what I've used on mine. Let me tell you, that weld on has saved me more money than I could even tell you. I have fixed my dishwasher with it. I have fixed my refrigerator, one of the shelves with it. That is the best stuff in the world.
Yeah, as long as it's plastic, well, I mean, it depends on what it is. You'd have to read it, but it will work. I don't think it works on PETG. I don't know. Have you tried it on PETG?
Oh yeah.
Oh, actually, it does. We did one of those. Yeah, we did one of the
Scream canister. I used it on my Scream canister, which is over here.
What is that? Preform. I welded a handle into a preform.
Right.
And that sucker is on there, and that's PETG. So, yeah.
Yeah, weld on, like I said, weld on is my go-to to put just about anything together anymore. I said, I've used it on my dishwasher because one of the wheels for the rollers broke off, and was what that was, and glued that on, and that'll probably be the only piece left of the dishwasher that I'll survive after much longer. And then one of the plastic shelves in my refrigerator cracked where the glass was sitting on it. So I ended up putting that back together with it. So, I mean, that is the best stuff. If you don't have it, get it, because not just for caches, but it fixes other stuff too.
Yeah. So once I get to this point here, next what I need to do is put some greeblies on it. Trying to think of stuff to talk about tonight. And so that's, once I get it built to where I want it, the greeblies is what comes next, which is going to finish it off. So like what we talked about before, see if I can.
Right.
I wasn't planning on talking about this.
Right. You had one on that one panel that you had there a few minutes ago with the 1, 2, 3, 4 with the airbrush in English.
Yes. So that was a droid interface thing. It's I'm going to pull my cart out here because.
Yeah. So that was one of the ones when we talk about greeblies, we're meaning like little doodads to make it look like, wow, is that just all?
So there's a parts cart. So it's greeblies and random stuff. So, but it's easier than going back and forth.
I know, but I know everybody is just went, wait, he just pulled out a whole nother cart full of stuff.
I don't think you've seen this one. So one of the many things I use a lot of is, I don't know if you can go to, did I knock that camera up?
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Hey, now I can see something. All right, there we go.
So, biggest thing I use CD-ROM drives for greeblies. These are anything metal that are rings that I keep in this area here. These are CD-ROM drive parts. The droid interface is CD-ROM drive. This is a VHS hard tape player head. And then any plastic greeblies here. Some I 3D print. These are really cool on there. Yeah, so these are cool. And they actually already had the holes, so you could actually put them in there. And if you actually were trying to do a connection one to where you had to connect the wires in a certain order, you could actually use these.
That'd be cool. That'd be a cool patch bay. That'd be a really neat.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you call it. Yeah. These are just random. These are, I think, from TV hangers, right? Just random little things that look good. Antennas work great. Just random, all kinds of random stuff. But these drawers are full of them. And so what I would end up doing on here is, I mean, you got to put a Android interface somewhere,
right,
on the cache. So I'd probably put one of those in. And then I think,
and of course, always the heat sink stuff is always.
You have to do a heat sink, and I don't know what one would be cool. Let me move this a little bit here. Too much stuff.
People going, I wish I had that much stuff.
You want to be a hoarder? Yeah. I love these heat sinks, and I wish I could use that somewhere. But I don't think it would work on here. So that's kind of what you have to do, is just kind of go through and decide what would look cool. This one here, I think, would look really cool. Somewhere. But obviously it's too big for this. I mean, this might look good somewhere in here. So just randomly going through and picking up stuff.
Says, I keep telling my wife that all my boxes are not filled with junk.
Oh, I admit mine is junk, but I still keep it all. These are great to have. Throw some of these on there. These connectors just sticking out. Just thread them in somewhere. These will be great to have. Just random things. So
right. Just gets it that extra polish, that extra.
Yeah. Which I'm sure a lot of people have seen. Lots of people doing greeblies on stuff. So looking to see if there's anything that's popping out. I could do a fan. Anyway,
and it's always those little finishing touches that you start adding to it that just really brings it to life. I mean, at amusement parks, if you're going to whatever amusement park that you go into and it's really themed out,
I gotta label these.
What they have, what they're hiding the different stuff is called gingerbread. That's one of the terms that they use. So adding that gingerbread to that cache is just adds that extra. Wow, that's really cool. I love that kind of aspect of it. And that's what you just got when you're doing your builds. What type of gingerbread can you add to the cache to give it that extra little pop? And that's I've seen so many that have done it. Tricacious is good with it. I've seen Dave's really cool with it, really good with it, and just a lot of the builders. I'm trying to think. Trying to think of his name. Colorado. He's been on the show a couple times, and I'm trying to think. Piper CO. Piper Colorado. Piper. CO. He's out there, Colorado. Colorado. Sorry, I can't even talk. He's got some really cool ones that he's done. Sorry, every time that goes in there, that is just so satisfying.
I'm afraid I'm going to knock it off my table here and break it, like I already did. The bottom of it has that chunk out of it, so trying to put it back.
Tricache just says, "Trouble is, we have more greeblies than caches to build."
Oh, I know. I know. Yeah. I have a couple computers, old computers here. I still got to take apart and pull all this.
I have stuff stuck different places, and then I forget where I put it, because I don't have all the storage areas that you have, Chad. I wish I did. I know Andrew Bell on the Move mentioned to me, he's like, "Hey, I'd love to see what types of storage you have to do stuff." Well, you see that red box right there? That's about it right now. Things are kind of, it's a good thing this is a tight shot, because you don't see what's all over the place right now. My shop is an absolute disaster right now. But before Cache Fest, I will be getting it cleaned back up. So, because there's some people that have asked to come by the shop. Plus, we're going to be doing some stuff in the shop for Cache Fest, some different things that week, getting things ready for the Saturday. So, it's going to be a working shop that week too. So,
yeah, no worries. Also, I've had people ask me about the color of paint for Star Wars to make it Star Wars-y. I think you go by your own opinion of what you want, but I get a lot of magazines with stuff in it, and this one here, if you look at it, actually has the sci-fi paint colors. So you could buy that, and that's a airbrush kit paint, or you could use it for brush on. But these are really good, these magazines. So you can get them where you're actually weathering things. So there's all kinds of stuff in these magazines to get to look at. So and this magazine is Micro Mark.
Okay.
Terrible magazine to get. I always want to buy stuff out of it. So, but I usually reference stuff in here, and then I go to, of course, Amazon and see what I can find them for. Usually you don't have to pay for shipping on Amazon, and it's close enough price that it's actually cheaper because you don't have to pay for shipping.
Right.
But anyway, if you want to learn the paints or the colors, if you really want to have the exact ones, that's where you can go for the paint. My biggest one, because a lot of Star Wars stuff has like a red or a maroon color, kind of orangish, is my favorite one to use is and it's actually easy to get. Let me pull it out here. It's just the red oxide primer. It's flat, right? So it's not going to be too shiny. And it's the perfect color for sci-fi, a lot of Star Wars things.
Right.
So, and you can get that at the regular store, and that's regular bomb can, because I'm sure there's not a ton of people that have airbrushes.
Right.
So,
yeah, I just got for my birthday, I got some new metallic airbrush paint. So I'm looking forward to kind of getting into some of that, more of that. So Andrew, Bell on the Move asked, what are some good Greeblies if you don't have a huge selection to design from? CD-ROM drives, if you can get a CD-ROM drive and take it apart, get those kind of aspects of it. What else?
I'm wondering, is he saying what good are they? If you don't have a huge selection?
What good are
asking, where do you get them? Anyways.
Yeah, that's it. So some basic ones to get would be CD-ROM drives, heat sinks, and those would be probably the two that I would think would be probably the best. Right off.
Heat sinks, a lot of people use actually old circuit boards, like little circuit boards, and they paint them. If you look at a lot of sci-fi stuff, they just take circuit boards, glue them on, and paint them.
Yeah.
You know, with everything on them. It's up to you. I mean, it's kind of depending on your look. I don't like the look of some of the Greeblies that a lot of people do, so I'm probably a little bit pickier, but you know, some of them, you know, and it could be from anything. Like one of the big things I like to keep and I use a lot of are things like these. So these are for light fixtures.
Right.
But we don't use them on light fixtures if you don't have a giant hole. So these are fun. These will mount down and you could put something on them or in them and paint it. And these turn out really good. This is a good Greebly. You know, it's a faucet cover. And then again, another light cover thing. I have these in several different sizes. Just little things like that. I mean, they could be made out of anything you want, but once you start putting them down, they will look good. In fact, you could put an Android interface or Droid interface in it. All kinds of stuff. Same with this one here. You know, I'm not the best at greebling stuff up. If you go to YouTube, there's lots of people that are really good at it. So, you know, take a look at them for those.
And I'm
things.
looking around my shop, just trying to see if I can see anything else that you can kind of do. I can't get to it right off because I'll have to walk all the way around my table and everything. But if you have a shop vac, some of the different attachment hose type stuff, the different attachments that you get for those to be able to do different sizes and stuff, that might be pretty good to use. I'm looking just different things that you just really simple things that you find if you can get different connections, those would look kind of cool. The BNC connections,
are great,
like the patch bay kind of aspect of it. Those look really cool. RCA connections would be another one that you could use. The male or the female RCA connections. Like we said, the CD-ROM.
Yeah.
The CD-ROM one is really probably going to be the go-to one for sci-fi, and the heat sinks. Those are probably the big, huge go-tos on that. And
if you don't want to take the CD-ROM apart, Geocache has been on the show to teach you how to make a drawer out of it.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Awesome.
And then we got to see it in Mingo. When we went to Mingo Madness, we got to see it there. So that was in person. So that was really cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, it was in a ATA case or a Pelican case type style.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So, whatever. I mean, that's what it is. If you have a 3D printer, you can download all kinds of Greeblies and 3D print them. But I like the metal look, the shiny metal, aluminum look.
Sorry, you mentioned 3D printer, and I've got a print for Cache Fest going right now, and I wanted to see where it was at. Yep. Hey, remember I was telling you that there's times that I need to know when I need to switch out the print?
Yeah. Is it right now?
Yeah.
I can't see it.
Blurry, I'm trying to get the focus. Let me see if I can get it to go. Oh, well. Yeah, because I have mine go through Octoprint, I can actually monitor my printer no matter where I'm at, and
that's cool.
It's time to go do a filament change.
So yeah, both of mine are printing stuff.
Here in about 15 minutes, I'll be running upstairs to go do that real quick.
Yeah, mine's gonna be nonstop printing until Cache Fest. So
yeah, same here. And once again, go back on some news real quick. Some news on Cache Fest. The shop is closed. You can still order the pre-event guitar coins and Chad's favorite, the crates. And so those are still up there. All the pre-sales of the packages, the VIP packages, and all that is closed because it's going to take us so long to get items in at this point because of the world we live in. We had to go ahead and close up the shop so we can get all that stuff ordered and everything. So there's not going to be a lot of extras, but there will be some. And what's in the shop when actually at Cache Fest, if you get it, then it's going to be first come, first serve. And so there's going to be some rare items in there as well that you can only get at the shop. That's all I'm going to say. But also, don't forget, if you're wanting to sign up for to be a roadie, you can do that through cachefest.com, and you'll be able to. There's a button on there to sign up to be a roadie. So look, and that's our volunteer sign up.
And if you volunteer, you get a coin, and it's a really cool coin. So
it is a cool coin. Oh, I'm out of focus again. Maybe I'm back.
I think your internet is slow though. At one point, I think that's you're not out of focus now.
But, okay.
Yeah, it was. I think it was the internet.
Okay, I might have drifted a little bit. Oh, that's why. I had taken it out of autofocus earlier because it was drifting in and out too much. So I might have backed out of my focal length. And yes, I am tired. I am really tired, Dave. And I've had so many projects going on. Not just in the shop, but up in my office, doing a lot of editing and doing a lot of shoots this last few weeks. So yeah, it's been crazy. I forgot. I don't know if you were in on this conversation. It's not just going to be a coin. It's also a pin now too. It's a coin and pin. Gary, I've forgotten. I don't have the Gary spilled the beans on that one right now because I wasn't going to say that, but Gary did. Gary just spilled the beans again.
I thought the pin was for the package. Well, anyways, doesn't matter.
Yeah. So we were talking some other options, but that we ended up going with the pin.
Anyways,
So pin and a coin. So the volunteers will get a pin that they can put on their shirt and a coin. So, and the coins are really, really cool. I'm really proud of those coins. So I think they came out they're going to look really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I just need to get down and work harder on it and get it done. It's one of those things. Hopefully I can get it done this weekend.
Yeah. I don't know how far I'm going to get on mine next week. I don't know if I'll actually be in a container yet. I'm hoping to, because I got to take it to paint still as well. I've got everything spaced out where it needs to go. The lights in the panel, and no, I'm not going to show you because you'll get to see it on Thursday on my channel, how it came together. But it's got to go back and get some paint and get some of that sci-fi-ish look to it. Now that I got some more of this paint, it's going to get airbrushed. So
Well, first time tuning in live. Well, welcome.
Yes, thanks for joining us. So yeah, so that's really cool. And so for those that are just joining us, Chad, let's see the container again.
Okay.
And remember that
now that I don't have it screwed in,
it's
let me
okay.
screw it in because I won't be able to pull it out.
Oh, it won't be able to drop. So as Chad's screwing this in here, I just want to remind everybody that if you have a cache that you're wanting to showcase next week, it's next week, Chad, by the way, on Gadget Talk, which is May the 3rd, and it's our Star Wars inspired Gadget Cache. You can always send us an email at gadgettalkpodcast@gmail.com, and just send us an email, send us some pictures, and then we'll be able to set up the links and everything for you to be able to join us on that week. And so we'd love to be able to see you and talk to you about how you built your cache, or you can always tag us on Instagram at Gadget Talk Podcast, and love to see that and love to see what you're building. I mean, that's why we do what we do here, is really to inspire you to build some really cool caches. This is the year of the hide. And if you've listened to the HQ podcast as well, that's one of the things that they were talking about, is kind of encouraging people to up the game a little bit and refreshing the game board, not just because if your cache is old or been there for a long time, but maybe as people have cached out their area, adding new caches and maybe archiving one. I've archived one a couple weeks ago. It'd been out there for so long time. It wasn't being found too much. So it's like, you know what? Time to refresh it, give this to somebody else, let them have this area. Or if you have that location, archive it, put a new one out there, and then redo that. Because I know you've done that a few times, Chad. You've archived a cache at a location and just put a brand new one there that's even better, or the same, but not the same, but the same uniqueness to it. Let's put it that way. Same uniqueness, but it's a different cache itself that people get to come out and do.
Yeah, it's refreshing the game board, because once you get so many finds on it, and it slows down, then it doesn't get found very often. So why keep that cache out? Why not refresh the game board and get new hides? Because just like most gadget builders, I like the logs. I like to read the logs and read about your experience. And so if you're not finding it, then just time to archive it and republish it. So that's pretty much what's happening. In fact, I almost switched to one that I actually could put out. But again, it's like, I don't even have time to finish this one I'm already working on to switch up and do a whole new one. So we might have to do it for another show, or another month, but, I do want it to be Star Wars related. So, anyways. So, if you're just joining in, I think, Scooby Loves Poo is on. That's, I think, the first time I heard from him.
Thank you, Scooby.
Log container. This handle pops up, and then it just goes down in here. It probably won't go all the way down, but sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I think I need to do some adjustment.
There it is.
But I think the handle has to be sitting this way for it to go all the way up.
Yeah, I think so too. I think
a little bit of standing around the edges of that, and it will go in no matter what angle it's in.
Right.
So I like the look of that. I think that's kind of cool.
I do too. I like the look of that. I think taking that other edge and knocking it off and making it a flat all the way around, and then that servo, as it drops in, that latch catches that no matter where it's at. I think that'll look really cool. So
and so I was thinking about adding this to it, just so when it's out at events and stuff, it'll bring up conversations. I made this one, but I don't think I'll put this one on there because it's too big. But
I like that one. I like that one.
It's one of those things. So I'll have to stick with that one there.
Yeah, that looks really cool. Gene was saying, we really enjoyed the show. Learned a new word, greeblies. Thanks for the show and ideas. I hit the like button. So if you have not hit that like button, go ahead and hit that like button. So that just helps us out a little bit. Well, Chad, looks like we made it. I know we
drug it on. My apologies. It's been quite the month so far for me for work and everything. So, but next week I will do the best I can to have it completed or close to being completed. Right. So my plan next week is to go over painting because I still got to paint the whole outside of this.
Right. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. Well, when I got it, like I said, I got to finish up mine. I got to build the actual outside of the container to it and actually paint. I mean, it's gonna be in a birdhouse, so I'm not actually going to show the birdhouse. I actually like the design that I did for the Star Trek cache, so I think it's going to be the dual side again, and then have something up at the top. Will be at the top, so it's going to be that kind of the same style of container. It may not be that big because that thing was huge, but I like how the door's going to open because it's going to be the latch. So I think that's going to be in there. But I've also I haven't even revealed this on my channel yet, but the way the panel goes in, I think it's going to be kind of cool. It's going to be a little bit unique, so we can do some different stuff with it. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I'm not going to reveal it.
I was wondering if you're going to say something.
I was debating if I was going to let it go. And I'll just say this: if you watch my channel,
but what were you going to do
closely? You may see it. You may see what it's going to do. You may see how it's going to sit inside. If you watch closely, I don't know. I'm trying to think back on when I was editing it today. If you could actually see how it is. So I don't know. But hey, and I want to thank everybody for wishing me a happy birthday today. I see Tom, I see Scooby, and there's been many others throughout the show tonight. So I really do appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. That's part of the reason why today's been really busy for me. Besides, I was in my shop today working on my cache for this and then doing all this other stuff too. So, and Gary got to spill some beans tonight too. So, and he did it from the chat room. So you never know what's going to happen. Gary, the bean spiller, is always, maybe we ought to just get him a vat of beans to walk around at Cache Fest that he just every once in a while just spills a few here and there. That might not be funny, good. Actually. It'll be funny, but it might not be good in July here in Memphis. That might get kind of smelly all over the place. So, but I really do, like I said, next week is our Star Wars build on May 3rd. And if you do have a cache that you want to have showcase, we want you on the show. We want you to see your cache. We want you to showcase it. So send us an email at gadgettalkpodcast@gmail.com. Once again, that's gadgettalkpodcast@gmail.com. Or you can always send us, tag us on Instagram at Gadget Talk Podcast. Love to see what you're building and to see those really cool caches. All right, Chad, I think we've kind of dragged this one out as far as we can tonight.
Yep, just a little bit.
So
yeah, if you guys please hit the like button for the show. Let us know if you can come on next week. That'd be great. Other than that, have a good week and see what we can get done.
Yep, have fun and try and get some work done somehow. So, all right, everybody. Good night.
All right, good night.